There we go. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing tonight, Anthony?
Good. It's lovely to see you again.
You too.
And the good news is the Wi-Fi is working.
Yay.
Tell us that a couple of technicians come around, and all they did was hardwire our mesh network, and so because the Wi-Fi was so flaky.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank God Jan's phone and her data, as they say in England, saved the day. We got to the end with Jennifer.
Yeah, you made it through.
Yeah, we did. Thank God. Thank you to Jennifer, especially. Sorry about the drama, and of course she was at 2 a.m. in Prague, so it was. Anyway, she was wonderful. Got a lot of incredible feedback about Jennifer's appearance and just about her gifts as an artist.
She was a great guest.
She
really.
We all our guests are one. I mean, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Classical musicians.
Fascinating.
And of course, we have an incredible panel. So, hey, Jim, how are you?
Hiya, I'm good. Yeah.
And Jim?
Lovely to see you. And of course, remember, it's 1 a.m. for Jim in the morning, so we really appreciate it. And of course, Jack Graham. Jack Tiergarten was another jazz player. Hey, Jack, how are you?
Doing great. Good to be here. Good to see the internet's working on your end and my end.
It's a blackout. And look at this. Oh, my goodness. Angie in a clear camera. Look at the new camera. So comely. I love that word, comely. She looks lovely. Very lovely, Ange.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. No Vaseline this week.
Yeah, that's right. I said, Angie, your screen, don't take this one away. It looks like it's got a little bit of Vaseline on it. And then I ducked. But no, she was fine. She took it. Good. It's great to see everybody. Did everybody have a great week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good. We have lots of comments already. I'll start the comments, then we're going to go through some stream images, and Scott's going to talk about a few videos. Okay, so the first one, of course, is from Andrew in Oz. Jim, can you read that, bud?
Morning, team from chilly Canberra, 1 degree.
Oh.
Question: Schubert's 8th and 9th are widely known and performed, but the Little C6th Symphony less so. Comment as a conductor and great recordings.
Don't know it. Heard it once.
I don't really know it either.
Heard it once with the Vienna Phil, with Franz Welser conducting in Toronto. They played it magnificently, a beautiful piece. But I just don't know it. I played the 5th, which I love dearly. I played the 8th. Jim's favorite is the 9th, of course, with the never-ending string parts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And just you go to a gig and that's on, and your heart sinks. It's like, oh God, I gotta get.
Oh no.
Mine was always this: Mrs. Solemnis. The worst one was the Verdi Requiem, which Charles Brown just wants to kill me when I say that. And the other one is the other, even worse, the German Requiem by Brahms. Oh my God, what a snoozer that thing
No,
is.
the worst one is Mendelssohn's Elijah.
Oh, it's another one, yeah.
There's like 4 pages of arpeggios. That's all. It's just horrendous. Anyway, there we go.
Do you remember we did the Music Makers by Elgar?
Oh yeah.
We called it the Mucus Makers. It was it wasn't bad actually. It had a few quotes from his symphony and stuff. But I remember doing the German Requiem and played it 3 or 4 times. It's like, get me out of here. Anyway, so I'm sorry, Andrew. Great question. You're gonna have to ask some other people. I mean,
you know, Anthony, I have a recording. I never thought it would be any good because it just didn't sound right. But I have a recording of Blumstadt with Dresden doing
of the 6th. Oh,
it's really good.
I'm sure it'll be wonderful. There's a good
It's
record.
really good.
And anytime you see Carl Böhm with the Vienna Phil doing Schubert on Deutsche Grammophon, especially if it's a tulip, you can pick it up and it'll be wonderful. I mean, they get it. Or the Vienna, the Berlin Phil, those 2 orchestras for Schubert, definitely. It's great to see you, Andrew. Thank you so much for your comments. Always, we love to see them. I think that's the first time like Johnny Carson stumped the band. I think you stumped. Well, Jack had one for you, but Jim and Anthony were stumped. And who's this? Oh, hi everyone. Hope to find you well. It's the best night of the week. Thank you, Joey. Everything classical. Hi, Rick. Missed you last week. Happy birthday to Richard Strauss. Born this date, 1864. Amazing. Happy birthday, Mr. Strauss. Herr Strauss.
You know, Anthony, there's a YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Guess the Composer. And they play different things, and you have to guess.
They're tricky. Some of them are, and they have some of the most. They get to number 13, and they want to make sure they snub you, so they have like a Glier piece or some obscure Russian composer.
Pretty interesting. That's what I do at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Eric says, "Hello everyone. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson." Yes. Sad day for Brian Wilson and Beach Boys fans. Yeah, it's
a sad day for Brian Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson, what a musician, and talk about naturally gifted. Didn't read music like most of the guys, but had an incredible harmonic sense. And I remember my father, who was a jazz musician, and was singing in a group called the Concords. And he said, "Anthony, the Beach Boys love the Four Freshmen. You know that, right?" He said, "Listen, there's a religious one they arranged, the Lord's Prayer or something. Incredibly complex harmony. I mean, really amazing." So yeah, Brian Wilson, an amazingly gifted composer. I've got
to tell you a little story about just a little anecdote.
Please.
So there's a bunch of musicians. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably in the Peanut Gallery have heard of the Wrecking Crew.
Oh yeah.
The Wrecking Crew they used Brian Wilson was the lead singer, of course, so he had to be there. But the Wrecking Crew did most of the recordings.
The arrangements, yeah, of course. What do you want? Does this work? Hal Blaine? Okay, now go away.
The arrangements were so complex they couldn't cut it, and they needed to bring in pros.
Really? And then, of course, Glenn Campbell, amazing. Can't read the music, but what an ear. I've got the what's the album with Pet Shop Sounds? Is that the one?
Pet Boys. Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds. I've got Pet Boys. I've got the Analog Productions mono of that. It was very expensive because it's out of print. It's really good, and it sounds best in mono, I think, because it's because of the way the mixing was. And Michael Fremer, our friend, our dear friend Michael, actually fixed Brian's turntable, because Brian, bless his heart, had severe, I think he was on the spectrum, but he had real bad types with depression. And so once he was coming out of it, and it was on medication, and Michael was there for some reason and saw Brian's turntable. It was a Rago or something, and it was a disaster. And Michael spent like an hour or two fixing it and getting the cartridge right. Yeah, it's sweet. It's a sweet story.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, so thank you, Eric, for that. Yeah, rest in peace, Brian Wilson. Very sad day. Scott, hello, everyone. Hope your week is going well. Looking forward to another great show with the panel and the Peanut Gallery. Absolutely. We love our Peanut Gallery. Boy, a lot of questions. Oh, my goodness. So I had to go way up to get the questions. Okay, and then Scott said, agree, Eric. Hi, Scott. Hope all is well. Hi, Joey. Armin. Hi, Armin. How are you doing in LA? Poor LA is getting it again, with the demonstrations. Poor LA fires. Hell, leather, stone. Oh, my God. Then Rick, Eric, and everyone else.
Richard, Anthony, in about sometime next month, maybe in July, maybe August, but I'm going to go up to Michigan to see Rick.
Oh, nice. And
I'm going to make sure I'm there on a Wednesday night.
Joey, get ready.
Get Joey and Rick together.
Okay.
And I'm bringing duct tape to tie him to a chair, put the microphone and camera.
That's right, Joey.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Scott Stableford, great videos this week, Anthony and Scott. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Joey says that. And Tony, hey, Tony, how are you? Good to see you again. Good evening, Angie, Scott, Anthony, James, and Jack.
Good evening.
Eric says hello to everybody. And Cranberry Sauce. Hello, music lovers. Hey, Alan, how are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Alan.
And everyone says hello. And this is a lovely name. Francisco Javier Munoz Garcia. Wow, fabulous name. Nice to see you, Francisco. I think we would have remembered that name. I think Francisco is new. Is that correct? Or
new, yeah.
New. Hey, Francisco, nice to see you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, yeah. What version of Berlioz Te Deum do you recommend? Wow, some of the questions are coming in of repertoire. Well, I've never played it or conducted it. or actually heard it. Have you ever played it, heard it, or conducted it, Jim?
Yeah, I did it with Lauren Marzell
Oh,
Who?
I think I
So-
got
in
one.
Paris.
Who?
Many
Lauren
years ago.
Marzell.
Never heard of him.
Tell Francisco, what would you, do you have a recommendation?
Well, I'm listening at the moment to nearly everything Charles Munch recorded. So I mean, I would listen to a Charles Munch performance, and yeah, I think Marzell recorded it, didn't he? Did he record it at Cleveland? We did it with the Orchestre National de France.
Oh,
And we had this huge woodwinds section where we had bassoons that sounded like ducks quacking on a farm.
Oh, because the French system.
And Marcel was jumping up and down. He was such a temperamental guy, really.
Tell us what happened.
Well, he just kept saying, "Oh, bassoons, no, you must." I don't know. There was some passage where I was going, anyway. And this was in a large. It was in a large hall somewhere in the south of Paris somewhere. We rehearsed it, and he was just, he was not happy. And it was the French National Radio Chorus, which was made up mainly of sort of French. The bass singing section was made up of French farmers who lived in Normandy and stuff.
God.
And they used to turn up in Paris with a van, and in the back of the van was like freshly cured bacon and foie gras and stuff. And we used to have lunch with these guys in the car park, and they'd say, "Oh, you must try some of this foie gras. I killed some yesterday." It was fun. The food was amazing. Anyway, so I remember more about the food than I do about the TDM, I think, to be honest.
Well, I would say, if Marzell's Jim's on, would get that one. But anything for Berlioz at large, or
Yeah,
Colin Davis is renowned.
yeah.
For the LSO now. Oh, talking of the LSO, look who it is. Mr. Cleveland Orchestra himself. Mr. Cleveland Orchestra fanboy himself. Hey, Jim, how are you, friend? I want to talk to you for a second. Let's get Jim's comment out first. Good evening to all. Four Seasons Whistler. Yeah, Jen and I just went there had the most wonderful time to see the Sky Highway from Vancouver up to Whistler. It was magnificent. I highly recommend it. The Four Seasons was wonderful. Great service. Even the room service people were incredible. But he's been to the Motel 6 in Gary, Indiana. Didn't have service. Gary, Indiana.
I think I've been there, Jim.
Jim, I want to show you something. I just want to show you something. Jim, you know who that group is? That's Jim's son, third from the left. That's the Calidor String Quartet. And excuse me, Jim was very nice and kind of made sure Jen and I knew when they were coming. And we went to their concert, which was packed out. First time I've ever seen that in Victoria. And I think they're making a return visit, or they've been there before a couple of times, so people knew. And they were magnificent, Jim. No wonder you're so proud of your son. He was wonderful. There was no weak links in that quartet. Estelle on cello. I don't know the other fellows' names. The violist was fantastic. I was thinking about Jim when I heard his viola sound in the opening of the Opus 135, the Beethoven F major. Amazing. Your son is one hell of a violinist, Jim. And the second violinist matches him. There's no weak links in that quartet. I wrote a little mini. I was there as a civilian, just going to enjoy it. But I wrote a little mini review on social media. You can check it out. The interplay between them, their deep mutual respect and understanding, and their musical. Jan, what did you think, sweetheart? Amazing. The producer said it was amazing. She sat there. I mean, it was just like from the opening, and through all the great playing and the blend and the intonation and the beautiful violin solo and the slow movement from the principal violin was magnificent. But one thing for the audiophiles amongst us, that's once again, from the opening notes, the gulf between live music played by brilliant musicians, and recordings is an immense gulf. It really is.
Yeah.
When you come back and you listen to a recording, you go, oh, vinyl is fantastic, but you hear it live. And I have told this story several times. I won't repeat it, but when I wrote on Facebook that if a high-end audio review doesn't use a string quartet as part of their arsenal to review, be afraid, be very afraid. And I got crapped on by my great height, of course, by non-musicians. But I really believe that the give and take, the to and fro on the stage between them, you can, it's just tactile. You can feel it. And the very best equipment can get it sometimes, and that's very, very rare. Anyway, Jim, thank you so much for the recommendation. I will say one thing. My previous favorite young group were the Dover, and I listened to their Beethoven today compared to the Calidor. Calidor #1 now. They really are. I cannot recommend their cycle of Beethoven highly enough. And I'm sure Sky has them, but if Sky, if you don't have them, you got to get them. Okay, let me just get that. Where is that? Stream is removed. Okay. Anyway, so thank you, Jim, for the recommendation. You're obviously justly proud of your son. An amazing musician. And Jim, serious, I'd like to get him on the show. I really would. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it'd be great. You can come up and help with the interview. It'd be fantastic. And Scott. Pet Sounds is one of the best LPs of the Wrecking Crew. Yes. And there's a video with Brian Wilson. He has this idea of what he wants, and he's trying to convince the musicians how to do it. Right? But it's very difficult when you don't read music. But of course, he has this incredible innate musicianship. And he finally gets it out to them, and it's wonderful. And Alan says, Michael Freeman recommends the Pet Mono Sounds on the double record set that Carl and the Passions on the other record. Oh, very nice.
Carl and the Passions.
And Tony says, good evening, crew.
Maybe we could be the Wrecking Crew. The classical Wrecking Crew.
We already are. Anyway, well, let's not leave. Okay. Sky. Good evening, all. Hey, Sky, how are you? And Frederick says, reprise version of Pet Sounds is really good. Great. Wonderful. Just, God only knows that horn opening, Vince DeRosa, I think, playing it when he was like 80 years old. It's just, it's one of the most beautiful songs ever written. It's the one song that I think Paul McCartney said, damn, I wish I wrote that song. And he's about the only other guy that could. It's just beautiful. And of course, Brian's not even singing on it. It's his brother who sings very well. Peter says, Scott, can you read that, please?
Yes, on the subject of Berlioz, just listen to RCA Soria version, VSO with Charles Munch. Absolutely gorgeous booklet, but a mix of stampers. Only one other on Discogs, really. Please see Soria at some point. Please cover. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I have
the video.
I have that set. I didn't realize it was so hard to find.
No,
but,
have you done a video on Soria?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, good, Peter,
I only mentioned it in the last the labelography.
Okay, Peter, I'm going to do a video on Soria.
Wait a minute now.
It's already filmed.
We're going to have dueling videos.
And Francisco says, thank you very much. You're very welcome, Francisco. We aim to please, my friend. Yes, the Jackson 5 were from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
And Breakfast King of Loyola, one of the best names in live streams. Hey, how are you? I think it's Paul. Hey, Paul, from Detroit. It's wonderful to see all the Samuel. It's wonderful to see these young musicians. Love every pop-up of new string quartets. It's great. There is a problem with string quartets, very much like rock bands. They end up fighting. And I'm sure, there's 4 delightful people in the Calidor. But there are famous stories, the Orford String Quartet and others, of just having these massive fights, usually financial things, right? I was in a group, and the trio, and the guitarist, classical guitarist, wrote the arrangements, and he got an extra 10%. And one day the singer said to me, "Don't let this guitarist listen to CBC radio at such and such a time," because Jan and I would be over there, be rehearsing all the time. I said, "Oh, why not?" She said, "Well, I did another gig and used his arrangements." You're a very, very bad man, Jimmy.
The leader gets cheap. And kind of,
Well, anyway, so that broke up because so arrangements, financial, someone staying in a better hotel room, it's amazing. So that's and same with rock bands, right?
Yeah.
Peter says something about Romeo and Juliet. Oh, of course, yeah. I've got it. Jen, I wonder if you could show. I could see this. Look, since Peter mentioned it, and I've got it right here, and it is an incredible recording. And I just put it on the my video. This one right here, sweetheart. Thanks. Yeah, that's it. Just go big for a second. And while I'm big, I'm going to just do something. So this is the one that Peter's talking about. This is the Munch, and it's the Soria series. This is going to be leading my video. This is absolutely magnificent. And Charles Brown got me into Romeo and Juliet. What a masterpiece this is. And this is the Boston Symphony with Munch. It's incredible. And this is what I used to audition Step Up Transformers, the Queen Mab Scherzo, which is one of the most incredible arranged pieces ever. I mean, Berlioz wrote literally the book on orchestration. And it just adds this sprinkle dust to the playing. It's just amazing. So that's why I bought that Akita Sut. But this is a wonderful recording. You're absolutely right, Peter. Fantastic. Thank you, sweetheart. And I just want to show you this while I'm big. I received this from Impex, Dan Fogelbush Souvenirs. I know my friend Scott is going to do a wonderful video on this. So look out for that. And what a lovely-looking fellow. But he unfortunately died quite young. Was he like 56 of prostate cancer? What a shame. And it's a typical Impex production, just absolutely beautiful in every way with notes. So very highly. If you like Dan Fogelberg, stream it first in case you don't like it. But the sound is incredible. Of course, it's Impex. It's beautifully. I think it's. I made a mistake and I thought it was Bernie, but it's
Bellman.
Yeah, Chris Bellman did it. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah, highly recommend it. You can get that from Elusive Disc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to exit my solo. Okay, so I'm just going to put these up for a second, and let's go back to this. So, in a couple of weeks, July the 2nd, we have Professor Mark Berry, University of London. He's going to show you his books. They're his 2 books. He's got 4 or 5 out, but he is probably the world's leading expert on Arnold Schoenberg. That's his book, Critical Lives, by Mark Berry. He's also a Wagner scholar. I mean, we're talking heavy-duty Wagner scholar. Treacherous Bonds and Laughing Fire, Politics and Religion in Wagner's Ring. So they're very specific. You can get them both at Amazon. I highly recommend them. They're readable, but they're very interesting. And I'm really looking forward to having Mark on, one of the leading musicologists in England, Cambridge Dawn, and full professor at University of London, Royal Holloway College. So that's that. Now, just a couple of things before we get back to the questions. By the way, Peanut Gallery, we love you guys so much. And as many questions as you can, we love them. And we have lots of time. No guests tonight. We have lots of time and show records and talk auditions in a little bit. So, take it away, Scott.
Okay, this video is already out. I have been thinking about doing it for a while, and it kind of evolved from a single record and comparing pressings of the Mercury to an overview of several versions, which is something that I really haven't done much of. So there's 6 different versions of the 1812 overture in there, and it was quite interesting. A couple of surprises came out of that I had on my shelf, and I had no idea they were so good. So check that out.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. I've watched it. It's wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. I mean, your thumbnails are benchmark, but that's the most beautiful thumbnail you've ever done. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
There's another one.
This is coming up tomorrow. I've done 2 episodes of this type of video before, where I show 10 to 20 living stereo popular records, which is a whole other ball game, and it's lots of highs and lows and hits and misses. So it's a fun video. It's just ad-libbing sort of on each one and what I thought of them. So that's coming up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, can I talk about one of my videos now, please? Do I
Absolutely.
I'm just teasing you. I wish my videos were like Scott's. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to embarrass Scott, but I received through the Audiophilia email the most beautiful letter from a competing magazine, one of the writers, talking about Scott's videos, about Scott's the best music reviewer on YouTube. He loves his writing so much, and he's so happy he's writing for Audiophilia. And it's the most beautiful letter, and very well deserved, Scott. Very well deserved.
Yeah, that was.
And now, hey, everyone's a critic. Sky writes, Anthony, your latest video, that's the one I'm showing you now, showcased 50 Scheherazade symphony variations and only 2 chamber works. Question mark. Everybody's a critic, Sky. Yeah, Sky, you jumped the gun. My next one is 50 indispensable classical chamber LPs chosen by a conductor. Is that going to be okay? And so yeah, I'll do another one. But anyway, that's a long video. It's volume 2. I'm not going to do another one. And a lot of lovely feedback. This is an hour and 10 minutes, and we've still got lots of views. The last one got 25,000 views over about a year and a half period. So I'm just going to leave that up and let people enjoy it.
I love that video.
Oh, thank you very much. But it was technical problems, and it was about 40 hours of work.
I'm glad you put that one in. I dug it out and played it. It was great.
Oh, it's fantastic. I know.
Yeah.
Beautiful. There's the books. Okay. Mrs. Kershaw and myself, the producer, have been invited to a swanky audio show in Toronto by a company called the Boutique Audio Gallery. Check them out online. They have a lovely website. And you can check the or kind of take a freeze frame of the invitation, and you can call that number. And if you're in Toronto, go. There's exquisite and rare whiskeys and cognacs, and some great stereo equipment, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I know that some other high-end audio people are going to be there. I think
I'm just going to Montreal, and I'm going to Angie's.
Well, Angie's in Toronto too.
In Toronto, rather. I'm going to Angie's.
Well, I'm actually promoting this now because it's part of my job. But listen, Angie throws a party every summer. Like, you just gotta go. I mean, you just go. It's fantastic, incredible. Angie knows she's the queen. What am I going to say? Anyway, these people are very, very nice. So, if you get a chance to go, there's a calendar. Now, some new recordings that are coming up. I saw this one. Jim, what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I know. It sounds fantastic, but it's nearly £200 a box. But I think it's wonderful if you can afford it. Great.
Yeah, 60 CDs. Look at that.
Yeah.
Giuliani, I know, Andrew, when we do building a library with the Beethoven Symphony No. 3, the Eroica.
Anthony, I have to tell you, these things are quite expensive. I'll give you an example. I bought that. I'm gonna say his name wrong. I can't pronounce it. The Cleveland Conductor.
Dohany.
Okay. I bought that. I thought it was crazy. I paid $125 for it. You know, the thing on Discogs now is $400.
Oh yeah, it's £200 now, but in about 2 years that'll be like £500.
So yeah, if you can afford it.
If you can afford that one, everything Giuliani touched is golden. If you want to see Giuliani at his very, very best, doing a piece that it's de rigueur on TikTok now, is the Dies Irae from the Verdi Requiem. Type in Giuliani Verdi Requiem, and you get the Dies Irae with the Philharmonia and the chorus, Philharmonic chorus. Wilhelm Pitz was the chorus master, fantastic, doing the Dies Irae. Watch Giuliani's face. It's like, you guys play or die. I'm going to come over there and rip your heads off. It's just unbelievable. Like the intensity and the sound he gets.
This Bruckner is amazing.
The Bruckner 7, 8, and 9. I took it out of the box to use as one of my videos, one of my indispensables. The 8th and 9th are wonderful. 7th is the best on record, I think. It's fantastic. Here's Klaus Mackler, Chicago Symphony and Concertgebouw, but he's still with the Orchestra Paris, under contract for another year or so. Berlioz Symphony Fantastique and Ravel, I think, is the Pavane. But the Berlioz, the Symphony Fantastique is very good. You know, that orchestra power, you can play it in their sleep, but it's very good. He's a wonderful conductor. Jennifer was saying, you know, off camera, just how wonderful he is. Like, he's the real deal. You know, you don't get Chicago and the Conseg back because you're a pretty boy, you know, and you're dating Yu Jia Wang, right? You get it. You know, now we know that people on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about, was so disgusting about him, disgraceful. And they're going to end up with egg on their face because he's going to be a masterful conductor as he gets older. And let's put it this way: I'm going to take the Concertgebouw in Chicago, or this fool on YouTube who said he was the Ken doll and talked about, you know, genitalia and stuff. Just disgusting. But also the New Yorker guy who should know better also kind of piped in. And I think people are going to have egg on their face because he's very talented. And Jennifer told us, like, man, this guy, like his Mahler 8, complete control. You can see a little bit on YouTube. He's a fantastic conductor. We're going to come back to that. So let me remove that. Okay. So let's go back to, excuse me, a couple more comments, and we'll start showing some records. And then I'll send out the link in a minute. I'm hoping you're all going to come up. We've got five positions. We've got another 7 we can have. So come on up. Jack, can you read that, please?
Retubing my VAC integrated amp with Genelex Gold Lion KT88 this Friday. Wow. I'm curious to see the view on running new tubes. Your comments are appreciated.
Well, Angie sells VAC. She knows them. She's Mrs. VAC. Tell us, Ange, what do you think?
Well, I don't know where he's coming from in tubes, but breaking in tubes is not such a big deal. Solid state amps take longer to break in than a tube amp. So breaking in your KT88s will probably be less than anywhere between 50 and 100 hours. And you will notice them change very quickly. So you won't have to wait too long to break them in.
Oh, great. Thanks, Ange.
You're
Wonderful.
welcome.
Okay.
See, that's why we go to Angie. We don't go anywhere else.
Whoops.
Quick answers.
Yeah.
Okay. And Samuel says, I keep calling you Samuel. Let me know if it's Sam is okay. Love Fogelberg. He was a very nice human being with lots to share. That's wonderful. Dagon. Hey, Dagon. How are you feeling? IBK of Loyola's. Oh, yeah. They have this Discord language, which is kind of interesting. Okay. Rick, speaking of string quartets, I saw the Ennis Quartet last month, and they were quite good. They've got about 5 CDs available, 7 Beethoven quartets, Schubert, Death and the Maiden, and Sibelius. Well, yeah, Jamie Ennis is a fantastic violinist. I'm not sure who the other people are in his quartet. If he's representative of the playing, he's a wonderful violinist. Okay, and then Breakfast King Loyola, one of the other guys on Discord with that special language, Dagons, and they add Z's to everything. It's a hoot. Come up with your Sibelius, Dagon. You promised. Frederick says, which MPEX would do a Heifetz Platogorsky box set? 7th and Dynagroove. That could use some improvement. Yes, for sure. For sure. And Paul says, that's a lot of Giannini. It sure is. Yeah, you can't get enough Giannini. I mean, Paul, we hear Beatles. People have 55 freaking copies of Abbey Road. Oh, I got crapped on by some long-haired hippie old guy on a live stream the other day. This guy, this audiophile guy, he touts this, and he's got this and this and this, and he doesn't have a copy of goddamn Abbey Road. Who the hell is he? No, I don't. Okay. But but very interesting since that came up. Guy Brownstein, the ex-concertmaster of the Berlin Phil, who's an incredible player, has written a concerto based on Abbey Road for violin and symphony orchestra. So I've not heard it. So that might be interesting, because I've heard it's quite a good record. These guys, these VCs, man, Oh God. Anyway, I won't get into it. As Samuel said, currently transcribing Munch, Boston, Ravel, Debussy, and Ibert Victrola. Great recording and low surface noise. Good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Angie, Sky has a question for you.
When in your AR and Estalon event, Angie, the event is tomorrow. Starts at noon. It'll go all day. We've got a representative that's come over to launch the new top of the line reference 330 mono amps. I've been playing them for the past day and a half and setting up the system, and it's extraordinarily good match. They work really well together. The front end we're going to be streaming and playing probably CDs with the Wadax studio player. And today, this afternoon, I hooked up the Oracle Delphi turntable because I'm sure we're going to get some people who want to listen to some vinyl as well. So I'm really excited. It starts tomorrow, and I hope a lot of people show up.
Let's see you all, guys.
Thanks for mentioning it, Sky. Wish you
And-
were coming.
Wicked says something. Go ahead, Ange, read that.
Thank you, Angie. There ain't a woman that comes close to you. Pernickety.
Mick Jagger and Keith.
Keith. All right.
There's another one.
All right.
There's another one.
Look, that's because other women have lives.
Read that one from
My
Tony.
question for Angie: what is the difference between 0 degrees to 180 degrees on a subwoofer? When using two subs, what is the best setting?
Ask
Well,
Anthony.
the best setting is whatever ends up sounding good. 0 degrees is where you would start. 180 just gives it a wider ambient type feeling. But yeah, it's some people like it and some people don't. It's almost like changing the phase of your stereo. So sometimes it goes from inside the stereo to outside the speakers. Sorry, from inside the speakers to outside. So it's a different, some people like the 180, but I would leave it at 0 if you're
My
using 1 or 2 subs.
My favorite setting is out on the porch. You get one and you stick it out there, and you get another one. You stick
Yeah,
it
one
out
day they will learn about 0 and 180 degree on subs.
Yeah, I know, and I'll get Abbey Road.
And
I
you
won't get
have-
yelled at for not having that stupid God.
There's still
Anthony,
hope.
Just so you know, that Cellini is $152.99 on Amazon.
Really, really.
Not
I mean-
not bad. It's not good, but it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
For 60.
And Jim says, and with Makela, the musicians seem to have a connection. I got that impression watching him in Cleveland. Much respect from all. Yes, Jim, I know. It's, orchestras are a cynical bunch, orchestral players. They've seen it all, and they have all these flashy conductors come with the, I call it the dead German conductors look with the, the Rolex backwards and the jacket, the sweater tied around there, and the assistant mulling around, doing all they want. But that happens sometimes, and the conductors don't know much. But sometimes you get some great ones like Günter Wahn, the older ones, Rudolf Kemp, all these great older conductors, Böhm. But then sometimes you get young people like Makela, and you don't get Chicago and Cleveland, and they're betting the farm on this guy just because he's a good-looking kid. He's got to be a great musician, and so jumping on the bandwagon and just lambasting the poor man, for being a nice-looking guy. And Decca invested some money in him. I mean, did you see the money that Verve invested in who's the Canadian girl from Nanaimo? Diana Krall. Do you remember that when she got on with Verve? I mean, I think her glam squad and the productions, like $1 million they invested in it. So they do that. Record companies do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about that, right? So anyway, so yes, wonderful. Now I'm going to say something in defense of somebody, because Jim and I, somebody mentioned this conductor, Timo, I'm trying to remember his name, another Finnish wunderkind. George Graham was pushing him, and he had his Mozart, and he had his video out with him yelling at the orchestra and the whole deal. And Jim and I were like, he's got nothing to say. However, there's a video of him conducting a rehearsal where he's calm and he's conducting Sibelius Fourth, which is a very, very challenging piece to conduct. The first movement especially, it doesn't work. Rhythmically, it doesn't work. You have to make sense of it. And he's talking to the orchestra in a very respectful way about what he wants. And he gets his ideas across. So I'm going to give him another chance, that man. And I think that's what happens sometimes with young conductors. They get a little bit excited and they're yelling at musicians. There's millions of stories, but he's check it out.
What's the orchestra he's conducting now?
I think it's the Finnish Radio Symphony. So it's yeah. I know it's a good orchestra. And what he does is his ideas to them, they replicate in their sound. So it's very good. So, I want to be fair because we were pretty hot, Jim and I were pretty hot on him. Not as bad as Nami Yavi, Jim, but it was pretty bad. Okay, thanks, Jim. Sam, fine, better than Sam. Well, yeah, okay. Sam it is. Okay, and Tony says, thanks, Angie. And Leanne, hi, Leanne. Good evening, everyone. Late to the party. The party starts when you arrive, Leanne. Now, wait for it. Just wait for it. Joey's going to come in any second, and there'll be a little bit of a lovey-dovey thing. You'll see.
Yeah.
Peter says he has the Soria Heifetz-Padagowski set, apparently unplayed. Well, you got some good stuff, Peter. Jack, can you read that, please?
So Cisco did a wonderful remastering of the Heifetz-Padagowski Brahms double. So an Impex redo would be most welcome. I wouldn't hold your breath on that, though. I can't see Impex investing that kind of. Maybe, I don't know. It's a lot of money.
The Cisco label did excellent jobs. It's hard. I agree with you, Jack, that the Cisco label is already really well recorded.
This is hilarious. Postal Playboy. Matthew, right, Jan? Jan and I were talking about earlier. We know it's Matthew. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Ryan. Maestro needs an Abbey Road stat. Thanks, Ryan. Man, did that guy lambaste me? Man, Abbey Road must be one hell of a recording. He doesn't even have a friggin' Abbey Road. Who the hell does he think he is? I mean, oh, God. And then Paul says, Anthony, forget Abbey Road, just by Stevie Wonder's 70s discography. Now we're talking about a musician. Now we're talking.
We don't need another YouTube channel talking about the Beatles. Believe
me. My God. I mean, Jan and I were listening the other day, and when Rachel and Sue came, the Beatles fans, of course, we played Beatles on their mono system behind me. So the mono box set, we loved the Beatles, and we were rocking out to it. It was great. But there is other.
So no.
Yeah, the guy was really offended. Like, he was truly offended.
Well, hey,
I think he was tongue in cheek, but
I drive down Penny Lane every month. I'm sorry, but these guys not even in the running.
I
my
know.
cousin
Also,
lives off Penny Lane, so
not just that, Jim. At Trinity, John Burden, who was a coach of, played horn and was conducted on Sergeant Pepper.
And my viola teacher played viola on I Am an Onion.
That's right. And Harry, who used to write for Audiophilia, sang backup on Hey Jude. So you Beatles guys, this is Beatles royalty here. We know the people. We know the musicians inside.
The British wrecking crew.
Tony says, matching the phase on your subwoofer aligns the loading of the room by your sub to the way your main woofer is in phase. Way to go. Wicked. Tony knows his stuff.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too technical there. Yeah, but he's right.
Way to go. Maculus Sibelius is not the best, but still pretty good. Well recorded. Yes, but it was done with the Oslo Philharmonic, which is a fine orchestra. They made they did that Fifth Symphony Tchaikovsky with Janssens, and everyone went nuts and said they were going to be the greatest orchestra in the history of the world. Of course, they're not, but they're a very good orchestra, and their Sibelius is very well played. But it's not Berlin with Karajan. It's just not. I mean, I was just playing the Fourth with Karajan because it's very difficult symphony Sibelius Fourth to get a hold of. And that young conductor impressed me with his rehearsal of it. And it's just amazing. Looks like I'm going to be okay. The doctor's on it. On the poster for hours. So thank you. Matthew says, preferably a UK. You know how you. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I have the Beatles in mono, but I heard the Beatles in mono one of the live streams of the 3 trillion live streams said the Beatles in Monobox was on sale again and it sold out.
That's right.
I love that. Well, you know how he is. You're absolutely right, buddy. Okay, now let's go to the building and library and then I'm going to send out the invitation. So the building and library. Jim, do you have some Eroicas that you would like to share?
Well, I do. I mean, apart from the Pierre Monteur, but I can't find my Phillips, but it's also on this 10 CD thing. But the Pierre Monteur with the Concertgebouw 1962 is superb. But I also like, and I know, is the Clutons Berlin Philharmonic.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And it's also quite well reviewed by Gramophone and everything else over the years. But I do like Clutons' Beethoven. It's swift, it's powerful, but I do think Monteur is superb as well. And also, what's his name? Your friend Scott Leibowitz. I mean, Leibowitz, fantastic cycle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. I will concur with the Monteur. It's fantastic. Jim hooked me onto that. Angelina, you have one. I saw you showing one, the Eroica earlier, that I know is very highly regarded.
Yeah, I've got a few. Some of them are actually in mono.
That's fine.
And the monos blew my mind, how good they were.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple.
So I'll show you everything I have.
Good. Oh, la la.
That's a mono.
Beautiful. Oh, that's the mono carry-on. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
This is amazing. Really good.
Oh, yeah. Famous.
This one it's recorded really well, but it just seems loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny Groove, maybe.
I'm in a groove.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the early one. That's beautiful. Lovely. Highly recommended that one. I love that. Oh, now she's getting out the big guns. Wow. Is that the Swiss Romand Orchestra? Oh,
Yes.
Look.
Yeah. There you go.
Scott, do you have that London Wide Band?
No. But I have the budget treasury edition.
That's good, buddy. Beautiful. Oh yeah. That's the benchmark for performance, that one.
This was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to every single one of them.
You're amazing, Andy.
This one I think is the best.
Oh, that's a famous one. Yeah.
Here he is.
Yeah. The man has something to say when he's conducting. His interpretations are beautiful. That's Brahms.
Sorry. It got caught up in the wrong pile.
It's a nice record. Lovely record. Sorry.
It's the bees.
There's so many. Hold on. No, this was here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I was listening to that as well.
James Loughran. What's that like?
Oh, the Loughran one.
Yeah, it's not very good.
No, it's not. No.
It's not very good. Oh.
And
this one.
James Loughran. What do you think of that
This one was amazing. So I played the third. I might as well play the fifth. Then I played the sixth. And the seventh is cracked. The record was cracked.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But that was also very good.
A very rare record you got here, Ange.
Yeah. That's my little bundle.
Fabulous, Ange. Jack, do you have some?
I do.
Okay, you're
It's
on.
really, really exciting to find a record that's older than me. But this is the Toscanini.
Oh, I love that label.
Very clean. This is a 4S in the old box.
Oh yeah.
And it's real clean. And of course, I don't want to be, repetitive. I'll just do this quick. I think Angie hit that one.
That's the digital one. That's the later
Yeah,
one.
the digital one. It's not really any good, frankly. James,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
miss so.
No, it's
Had a
very
couple. I think I mentioned this last week. You know me, Hanukkah can do no wrong. He's my new Previn. This is exceedingly good, and the sound on this is unbelievable on reference recording.
It's
Really,
amazing.
really good. And the Ivan Fisher version is
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, it's very good.
it's a very, very good one.
You got a good collection too, Jack. Jeez.
And then the little hidden one that I've had for a while, and I dragged it out when we talked about this. I've had this a couple of years, but the old Czech,
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kletsky. Yeah, very good.
they nail this. This interpretive wise, this is right up there. It's really
Another underrated but great conductor, Paul Kletsky.
That's it for me.
Fabulous. Okay, we got everybody. Oh, Scott. We've got Scott. The great Scott. There we go. buddy.
Great, Scott. Okay, so this is the Stereo Treasury, that same one that Angie showed.
Oh, that's the entry level budget one.
Yes, but it is the preferred. It is the
I have that
preferred.
too, Scott.
The preferred raised label pressing with the
Very
letter
nice,
G.
Scott. We're just pulling your leg, buddy. We're jealous.
This is the budget Victrola.
Oh, and Monto. Oh no, that's
Monto with Vienna.
yeah. That's the Vienna one.
Yeah, it's not the
good.
same as
It's good. It's the Kasegabau's better because it's unique.
probably
That's very
so.
good.
Yeah, that's a plum label.
Oh, look at that.
And this is the classic version of the Columbia Bruno Walter,
How's that sound?
and not so good.
Yeah, a lot of they don't have a great luck with the Columbias, eh?
I like this fourth, the Brahms fourth that they put out, classic put out of Bruno Walter, but I don't like this one. And then I have this, which everyone showed, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a tulip. And then this is the famous Reader's Digest legal
yeah.
list box. Yeah,
Mm.
this is great. I love that. That's my bundle.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna read before I do mine. I'm just gonna read some of the comments on the Eroica. Jeremy, hey Jeremy, he said Cell and Klemper are my favorites for the Eroica. Cell is wonderful. Frederick said Schurig and Schulte. Yes, Schulte's Beethoven is very underrated. He's very good, very well played. And Scott says in my collection, the Pavi SACD is my favorite Eroica. Yeah. Great records, Angie. Great records, Jack. And Jim says nice, Jack. And Scott says Yavi SACD Eroica is my favorite in the collection. So I've just got one to show. I like many that you've seen. Jim's recommendation for the Concerto Montour is incredible. But this is the best. And I'll tell you why I think it's the best. Well, first of all, this is the whole 9 symphonies, Klemperer. This is the stereo version. He recorded in mono, and his monos, like Angie was saying, they're outstanding. But Walter Legge says, come on, you got to do it in stereo as well. So there we did in stereo. This is EMI, so it's 9 EMI records. The recorded sound is fantastic. They're all wonderful. But the third is very famous. And the reason it's so famous is the tempo and the playing and the style. So if you know the story of the Eroica, Beethoven in the dedicated to Napoleon. And then Napoleon invaded somewhere and Beethoven got all senti and then scratched it all out. You see on the facsimile of the score. So you got to get the Eroica right. And it's you know, da dee da da da. Many conductors conduct in 1. He's conducting in 3. It's slow, but the playing is wonderful. His interpretation is great. The EMI sound is fantastic. So I recommend that. I think 1 or 2 other people have recommended the Klemperer. Klemperer for Beethoven, you really can't be beat. Anyway, so there you go, guys. I think everyone has at least one they can find that they can enjoy. I want to just put up your homework for next week, and we don't have a guest next week, so There it is. Jim, you want to read what that is? Can you read it?
Music for
Strings, percussion, and
percussion, strings, and Celeste. Yeah.
by Bartók.
Yeah.
Many people consider Bartók's greatest piece. It's incredible.
8/8 time. I never saw 8/8 time.
It gets worse. It gets worse. The last movement is incredibly difficult to play. It's all difficult to play. If you've seen the movie The Shining, that really creepy high violin part, that's in the slow movement of that. There are two very famous recordings, but we'd like to hear yours. And I have two on LP that I'll show. I'm sure Scott has probably the same LPs as me. And Jim probably has one the same as me. Jack may have a different one. You may not have, Angie may have. But anyway, music for strings, percussion, and celesta by Bartók. That's your homework for next week. Okay. Now I'm going to put in the link. Okay, so Derek says, just while the link is up there, guys, and we're going to get some people up. Derek, good evening, Angie, and the rest of you boys. Paul says, Anthony is clearly trying to keep Loki away if he's choosing Bartók. Yeah, they're friends with this guy Loki who goes on every stream and makes himself known. Yeah, he came on the stream the other day and we were talking about shoes, and I kind of destroyed him about British shoemaking, and he hasn't come near me since. No, Loki is an amazing guy, and but it's late in England. Paul, it's what is it? It's 9 o'clock in Detroit.
It's
Paul,
4 minutes to 2 at the moment.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Loki's got to get up and he opens the chip shop at 10 a.m. So he's got to get his Savoys ready. He's got to get his melt all his fat for his chips. Anyway, so here we go. Who's this? Tony. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
How you
Tony.
doing?
All right.
Lovely to see you.
Excited to join you.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah, how you doing tonight?
Any purchases lately?
I kind of cut back on buying a lot of records right now, but I
Everyone
went
has
to the
them.
record. Yeah, I went to the record store the other day. The owner gave me 2 box sets at no charge.
Oh, let's have a look at them. Hang on, let me get you up.
Let me get them right here. This one's called the Romantic Era.
That's a lovely box. Yeah, it's a whole series. Classical era, modern era. Nice, yeah.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like, it didn't have the booklet, but I guess it can't be choosy. But I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. And the other one I got
This guy.
is the
Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
and I
That
think that's
is,
the Raya series.
It's
yeah.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna need that for my video. Don't send me.
Uh,
Okay, you need it
Don't
for your
bother,
video?
I have it.
Oh,
Oh,
you have it?
oh,
Okay.
That is a good gift. I'll tell you that.
it is very nice.
Oh.
The Beatles
Yeah, he
Messiah.
said, I guess the classical is not selling too well in his shop.
What
Yeah.
else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Very
Is that-
nice.
Is that a mono? Or stereo? Can you tell?
I believe this one is mono.
It looked like it might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think both of these are mono. Yeah.
Still, should be wonderful.
Eric
That's a great
says,
performance.
hello, Tony, welcome. I want to put Francesco's comment
Yeah,
up.
they're both mono.
Yeah.
Francisco says, my favorite Eroica is one that isn't talked about much. It's Antal Doratis with the Minneapolis Symphony. Right on, Francisco. It is a fantastic Eroica. And it's streaming. You can stream it in high res on Cobos. And it's worth it. He gets them to play out of their skins, like the 1812, right? You think Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Beethoven, Dorati. Here's Robert Wynn, a friend from the Royal Philharmonic, who was a guest on our show. Remember Robert? It was hilarious.
Mhm.
Lots of stories. Robert was telling me that Dorati conducted at the Royal Academy when Robert was principal of their orchestra. And after the rehearsal, and musicians always remember this, Dorati went up to him and says, "You're going places, son. Make sure you keep working hard." And it was so nice, right, Duratti? And always remember that. And of course, Jim worked with Duratti when Duratti was much older. Didn't he fall asleep in Beethoven's Ninth, Jim?
Yeah, he got lost. I can't remember what happened now, but Barry Griffiths sort of took over for about 10 bars or something, and then he came to. I think, mind you, he was about 84 at the time. So
yeah, as I said. Hey, Sky. Anyway, Francisco, great recommendation. Okay, hang on. Let me get my buddy up.
Hey,
Loki. Anthony, perhaps not. He's hilarious. I love the guy. I should say that, but he said, Anthony, perhaps not wise to bring up the shoe nonsense here, but to clarify, your assertions were provably incorrect, and the entire episode was embarrassing. Yeah, that's right, Loki. Loki right, Anthony wrong. Feel better, Loki? Okay. Anyways, good to see you, bud. It's 2:00 in the morning there, and you're still trying to get one over on me. I mean, you're obsessed. Get over it. I'm just a guy. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, Sky, great to see you. Hey, Sky, thanks for the severe criticism.
Thank you. Of course.
About my 40 hours of work on that video, and of course there was not enough. But actually, to be honest with you, bud, you're actually right. And as I was doing it, I've got a lot of chamber music. I don't have the Sky collection. But I had only 100 records to choose, and there's so many great orchestral records as an orchestral player. But I'm going to do one on chamber music. There you go.
There you go.
One of my videos on Deutsche Grammophon chamber music recordings got like 10,000 views. Like people went nuts about it. So yeah, I'll do one for sure. Let's see. Great records, Tony Smith. Hi, Tony. Hello, Sky. Nice box sets, Tony. You get a lot of comments there. Great score, Tony. Way to go.
Thank you.
This was lots of fun and very educational. Visited a local used record store and got 3 boxes for $50. 300 albums and many opera box sets. Way to go, Sam. And then I've already done the Loki bit. The Loki one. Loki's got a little cat named Toffee. Isn't that a cute little name, Toffee?
That's cute.
I love the name Toffee. And anyway. Sky and Ryan, how you doing? Great to see you guys. Ryan, I thank you so much. I don't need a British pressing of Abbey Road. I'll live without it. I can stream. Isn't it? What's the one that Ringo wrote on that album?
Octopus's Garden.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to live without Octopus's Garden and manage one with Beethoven's Seventh Symphony. Okay, so that long-haired git who break me over the coals. No, I know this. I know it's a great album. I'll have a listen in deference to, a lot of people who like it. I'll have a listen.
Mm-hmm.
And look, hey, when I listened to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, I mean, my mind was blown. I have never seen anything like it. I love it. So, Sky, I'm going to get you big.
I agree. I always prefer Beethoven over Pink Floyd or Beatles.
Watch it. That was fine.
No, which I think it's one of the things is it's still remarkable that after 200 years later, we are still talking about the Eroica Symphony. And I think one of the things Peanut Gallery needs to be aware of is that when it premiered, it was the longest symphony ever during that time. And it was one of the technically challenging symphonies ever conducted. So it was a fantastic, and it's still one of my absolutely favorite pieces to listen.
Incredible.
It's just, but my go-to, it's hard to find, but Zell with the Cleveland.
Jim in Columbus is wiping a tear of pride out of his eyes right now.
The reason I believe the Zell does it really good, I think Gunther Wand, it's not being really talked about. The NDR with the Gunther Wand does really well. And if you also don't want to spend a lot of money, I agree with the Anson Man.
Oh look, Scott, that's the one you don't have. Is that a wide band? Oh, it's a wide band as well. Oh yeah.
And it really is good.
There's a little bit of tear coming down.
Well, I really do think, Anthony, this Zell really, in my opinion, Zell owns this piece.
I agree totally.
It's like a string. It's every movement is up the line. It's technically wonderfully. I just absolutely love this piece.
Let me just interject something about on the way up
Totally agree.
in the Sea to Sky Highway. We listened to Mozart's 40th, and I was talking about the Eroica we were doing as well, and we got to the minuet, dum bum 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 bum, and I said to Jan, that's in 3/4 time. That's what the Mozart classical symphony would be, a minuet, maybe a faster minuet. And what Beethoven did, right, a scherzo. He made a scherzo. Right, screw the minuet. We're going forward. And as you said, the size of the symphony, the difficulty of the symphony. But what I love about the Zell is there's a video of Zell conducting the Eroica, and I love what he does. And he also did it with the Fifth Symphony. And he's got his finger up to the Cleveland Orchestra. One forte, two fortes. Like there's a difference, and so many orchestras don't. Right, Jim? They don't make any difference. It's like, oh, I'm playing loud now. That's it. And Zell really looked after the dynamic. So good suggestion, guys. Anything else? Anything else, guys?
Let me recommend one more. This is the Lyrita, the whole.
That's great.
But the lyric movement, if you don't have this, I highly recommend it.
Oh, beautiful.
It's not very well known Holst piece, but it is a good piece. Here is the Jim.
Jim's going to gloat. Anthony, how many did the LSO get of the Eroica? Zero. How many did Cleveland get? Many. You're absolutely right, Jim. We'll get you in a sec, Jim. I want to talk to you about your incredible kid. Ryan, how are you doing? Have you recovered from all that rich Viking food on the cruise?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, beautifully.
Okay. It's Kamehameha Day, so happy Kamehameha Day.
Oh, happy Kamehameha. Now, Angie got the new camera, and she looks, as I said, comely and lovely. You don't sound like you're in the bottom of a Maui cave. You sound very, very nice. Did you get a new phone?
No, same phone. Maybe the Wi-Fi is better. So today's a holiday in Hawaii, so I didn't go to work. I didn't get a chance to go digging though, so I got a bunch of cheap records today.
Okay, let me just get you big. Do you have any Beethoven to show us? Just this.
So I left my box at work, forgetting that there was no work today. So I had the Eric Kleiber mono and Toscanini mono. Toscanini I like better, has better bass. I have Gunther Wand and Kletsky on CD. I'm trying to replace all of my Gunther Wand with the vinyl. I only have the 6th and the 9th. I don't have the 3rd yet. When I was in Germany, I was actually looking for Deutsche Harmonia Mundi. I wanted to get all the Gunther Wand, so that's something I'm working on acquiring. But I really like Gunther Wand.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Good, beautiful. Do you have any records to show us?
You want to see the stuff I got today? There was one thrift store that's kind of overpriced. They're $3, but there's a bunch of things I never saw before. And they're very clean, so I got them. This is Rossini, Barbara de Seville. It's Italian. This is Telefunken.
Oh, nice, lovely.
This is an interesting Denon one. It's on 45 RPM. So I haven't had a chance to listen to any of these. I just got them like an hour ago. And this is playing wind, bunch of wind instruments. A lot of Bach, Telemann, and CPE Bach. This is Clark Terry, so not quite classical.
Yeah. I was just talking about Bob Brookmeyer.
That is a great record.
Yeah. So this is a Tulip Carrie-Anne playing Coppelia and Chopin.
That's another lovely record.
This is I think this is a German EMI. Carrie-Anne doing Wagner, various Wagner things, some overtures, Lohengrin and Meistersinger and Flying Dutchman. There's I went to the cheaper thrift store. These are all $1. This is Ashkenazi and Meta playing Brahms too. This is
the London Symphony gets going. That's great. That's good.
Yeah, it's in London. This is what was that? This is a Quadra. It's RCA with Eugene Ormandy playing on RCA instead of Columbia, and he's playing with Philadelphia. this is various things. Chabrier, Dukas, Saint-Saëns, Dance Macabre, Mussorgsky, Night and Ball. Someone was asking about Hungariton. I found a Hungariton. It's Bartók, his third piano concerto on Hungariton.
Beautiful.
I don't have much Kurt Weill instrumental music. Kurt Weill mostly have, of course, with his musicals and things. But this is Korngold and Weill on Candide. They had
Oh yeah.
Shaded Dog of this Vienna, Reiner.
Is that a 1S?
Oh, let me see.
Scott, do you have that record?
Yes.
This
not-
one.
I don't think it's a 1S though.
Nope, 25. So not even close.
Ray says, nice rhyme.
Yeah. And this is Haydn's
Nice
Nelson
piece.
Mass.
Lovely, nice piece.
Also got some Chet Atkins. There's not a lot of classical music on Maui, but Tommy Emmanuel is the guitar player. Was here, and somebody gave me tickets to see him. He was a big Chet Atkins disciple, I guess. He's one of Chet Atkins' 5 certified guitar players. So it was excellent. Got to see him on Maui live. Like I said, not a lot of live music. The last classical musician that came was Isserlis, the cellist with Connie Shee. Somebody's phone went off in the front row during one of their pieces for about a minute. The person was too petrified or embarrassed to do anything about it, so it kept ringing for a minute. And after they finished the movement they're in, which is not the end, she shouted at them, well, for the God's sake, will somebody turn that off? After they finished, they left without any encores. I think he was upset.
Oh, no.
Kind of sad. Yeah.
That's too bad. It happens, but it's
Yeah.
just heartbreaking. Anyways, it's great to see you. And don't worry about the do you have a British pressing of have you? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have that blue box. Yeah, I do have one. I'm keeping that.
Jim is in town. Hey, Jim, I've got a guest here who's going to give you a little précis about your son's quartet. Here she goes. She's just tell Jim what it was like, Jim.
Hi, Jim. It was magical.
Oh.
It was just amazing.
It was. We were thinking about it the whole time. We wish you and your wife would have been down, and we could.
Yeah, I know. She's actually in Seattle right now, so.
It's a little closer to us.
But she forgot her passport, or she would have been there. She was there to help my daughter do some stuff. So.
Joey straight away. Hi, Jan. Jan.
Hi, Joey.
Jan's a pro at this job.
You guys take the time to do that, though. I appreciate it. And
oh, are you kidding?
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Tell them what you think. What about the playing and the piece as well?
Oh,
they were. I think I told you before, but they were supposed to do an American program for that, and I was kind of hoping they would, because I think they really do well on. I mean, they do the Beethoven great, but they also do.
It was
And of course, this is when the tariff thing started, and they said, no, you can't do American. You had them change it to the Beethoven. I thought
wow.
Well, I'm not a fan of modern classical music, and the piece that they played just blew me away.
Yeah,
I forget the name. Actually, this is the program. Eine kleine summer music,
right?
And it was very well done. Yes, Strum, S-T-R-U-M, or Strum.
Yeah.
Jesse Montgomery. It was really good.
Yeah, I don't know how they fit that in there. When did they play that?
Well, they reversed the program. They played the string quartet number 14 in C sharp minor, which everyone says is the world's greatest chamber music business.
Yeah, I know.
The first one was a snoozer for me, but the rest of it is incredible. Right?
Yeah.
Beethoven kicked it up.
The variation movement is it's like
unbelievable.
I mean,
it's the Everest for the quartet, right?
I guess I don't know.
They reversed it.
It's the one that he was quoted as saying was one of his greatest. You know, if he had to pick one piece, that would be at least one of them.
Well, the opening movement it's like 20 minutes itself. It's so challenging to to understand. So you need a great quartet, and they were brilliant. But that was the program. But I'm glad I wanted Jan to come and give you the.
Thanks.
Rather than just my.
I'll let him know. Actually, you should get the whole group on.
Well, that would be wonderful. We'd love to, because what I loved about them
guys. My son's getting married, so I think he's busy right now. But
Oh, well, I'll liaise with you, and we can liaise.
Yeah.
I will tell you that there was no weak link, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about British quartets.
no, well, string quartets, and Sky will tell you, it's the way they respond together. I mean, it takes a lot of hours of practice to do that, and you can be talented, but still to put a quartet together. And then there are other quartets like from symphony, or like the Dover will be like that. They'll just meet, and Escher doesn't meet very often. They don't practice that much. They just meet at the. So it's.
I will tell you. I listened. Jim recommended the Dover to me many years ago, and I listened to their 16, the F major.
Yeah.
And the Calidor's got a beat.
I think they're the last quartet. It really is I think of the best of all the.
Yeah, the Dover was a little hard driven. When they get they're doing that moto perpetuo kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the Calidor was beautiful.
That's what's neat about string quartets, though. There's different ways to. I mean, it's like any form of music, but it's got a little bit more freedom than other forms.
Give me a second.
Yeah, where are they playing?
Derek, I'm banning you. Jan is much easier on the ice.
Derek.
I got Loki. I got Loki in one ear. I got Derek. And I got that long-haired hippie telling me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because I've never had it before.
I had a few things I just wanted to show real quick.
No, please do.
Okay. This is something you didn't mention, but I listened to this a couple nights ago. It's the Iserstedt, the Smith Iserstedt.
Oh, he's great. Underrated.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've had this set. I've had the whole symphony set, and it comes in one album. And it's quite the horn sound of the Vienna is non-parallel. I've never heard horns sound like that before. So
they're special horns, right?
You can
pumping horn.
I don't know. They must be. They sure sound good. But you can get these albums like the third. I looked on Discogs, $3-4, and if you get a good the problem with London's is you got they're not like the Decca version. They've got that somewhat inner distortion. I don't know what the technical term. Maybe Scott knows. That grunge you get on some of the Londons.
Yeah,
you definitely.
The earlier ones.
The horn is called the pumping horn, and it's got special rotary valves, and it's in F horn only. There's no trigger, so anything.
They played that on that. They played it on
That's all you're allowed to play in Vienna.
Oh, okay, they're gold. Well, I've heard. I mean, not Austrian, but like Dresden's was always my favorite horn section.
Well, Peter Dam, you have that kind of vibrato, but
right.
The Vienna have they have to play Bruckner oboes, Bruckner bassoons. Jim, is it all their strings, all their violins are the same or something in Vienna?
No, all the violins they don't play their own instruments. The Vienna Philharmonic owns all the instruments that the play, and they're all stored in the Staatsoper.
Well, they're probably all 1,700 instruments.
Yeah.
But Hans Schmidt-Esterstedt is a very underrated conductor. Very.
Yeah. And
Sky, you were going to say something. Did you say you were going to say something today?
I was going to ask, where are they? The Calidora Quartet. Where are they heading next?
That's good. Well, they actually play in Bellingham in about a month, and I know they're in Canada quite a bit. They play the Toronto Chamber Fest. They play this. I don't know the name of it. It's right outside of Toronto.
Well, they did a concert the next night at Deep Cove Winery, which is one of the most beautiful locations on the island.
Yeah.
In a great restaurant. And they were playing there. And that would have been just like idyllic. Have a meal at Deep Cove Chalet and then go to the winery and listen to this incredible group. I would tell you, and I wrote in my little mini review, that just beg, borrow, or steal a ticket to see the Calidor String Quartet. Really.
Thanks.
They were that good. I mean, I knew they were going to be good because I reviewed the records, the CDs you sent me, and for the magazine, and they were wonderful.
I'm hoping they do. I mean, well, I really like their Britain. They played Britain at at Lincoln Center, and I wish they'd do an album of all the three Britons because they really play them well.
Well, I know Sky will buy them. I know I'll buy them. I know
Jim, Jim, only CD is the Beethoven cycle. Do they have any?
Well,
other?
they have others. They have ones on Signum. I think they have one that has Shostakovich ninths and some other strange pairings of pieces, but Shaw and some, American composers. And then they have some early stuff that they did. You can, I don't know, look on their site, their site. You have it.
I have it. Yeah, I have it on there.
That's really neat. I hope you keep that up.
Yeah, it's thank you. It's working.
Yeah, I bet it's quite a project.
Jim, in between listening to recordings of the Cleveland Orchestra 95% of the time, do you do reenactments of Stanley Kubrick's 2001 in your house?
What?
Do you do reenactments with your wife? One of you plays the monkey. One of you, okay.
What?
Of 2000, you have two freaking great monoliths behind you.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it.
Jan has my idiotic sense of humor. I'm just kidding.
I was trying to.
You'll have to excuse him, Jim.
Yeah.
That's
Listen, Jim.
I had to move because my wife's coming back. I cleaned out the room I usually use, and I got piles of stuff all over it, so I had to move back in.
Jim, do you have a subwoofer with those mags?
I knew that was.
I haven't found it yet.
Look, Sky, you're in my bad books anyway.
That's the thing about some of these. Oh, I have one recording that I'm. This is the special recording because this should be added to your. This should be added definitely to your. You were at 92 or something like that on your video.
Yeah, I gave up.
Okay, so this is the one that you should fill it in with, or at least one of them, because I can tell you right now, the last time I looked on Discogs, and Jan, get your phone ready or your computer ready, was like $12 for this, and it said near mint, and So anyway, it's this recording of the Chesky. Bizet Symphony and Tchaikovsky's.
That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful record.
It's.
Do you have it on Chesky?
And yes, and Reader's Digest.
And you can get that. I tell you, it's every bit as good as some of the other Cheskys that you mentioned. So
I will be looking.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Bizet is. It's up there. It's better to me. It's. I don't know. I shouldn't say.
The engineering on those original recordings is so fine. It's just amazing.
Gerhardt.
It's Gerhardt and Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Incredible.
I've got the answer, mate. It's very, very good. The BZ Symphony. Just before we finish up here, guys, I'm going to just go through some of the comments. First of all, it's lovely to see the guests and of course the panel in such good health. Ray says he picked up the Barry Tuckwell Mozart horn concerto on Decca. Did I hear you say, Jim? No.
Yeah,
no. Did you know? Did you ever meet Barry Tuckwell, Jim?
Yeah, once. I think it was at the Royal College. Yeah, but we knew John Burden.
Yeah, John Burden was the LSO and the Joseph Cripps, and then played horn on Dr. Pepper. Excuse me, Sergeant Genoese, correctly. Yeah, we saw Barry Tuckwell when he was conducting, and he hadn't practiced the horn for a long time. But I've never known a man with such fearless. He played a Mozart horn concerto with this orchestra.
Yeah.
With Nick, you remember Nick Fallowfield, the great violinist at Trinity, and he was leading the orchestra, and Barry Tuckwell was playing, and some unbelievable player. Get his Argo Tippett Symphony No. 2 on the other side, Sonata for four horns with the LSO horn quartet, the Barry Tuckwell horn quartet. It's unbelievable playing. Joey says, hi, Ray Welsh, great records, Ryan. Hi, Joey, just got away for lunch to catch the end. Hope you're good, mate. Joey says, he goes to Jan. Oh, Angie, can you read that one?
It's the camera.
Look at that haircut. Ooh, look at that.
It's the camera.
Wow.
Lovely, Ange.
Oh, Dagon is a lovely, gentle fellow. He says, Loki is my best friend. And his knowledge of shoes is deep. Listen, I know. Look, Dagon, this yoke, he's trying to snooze you guys. He doesn't know about English shoemaking. We've been to Northampton, the home of shoemaking, right? Oh, wow. Great hole, Ryan. Awesome score. Greetings from New Zealand, Jan. Oh, Leanne. Hi, Jan. Everyone's, look at the beautiful smile, Jan. Jan, oh, that's great. Hold it, Leanne. Leanne, did you see that from Joey? Beautiful smile, Jan. And there's this, Leanne, you didn't get nothing from Joey tonight. What the hell's going on? And Joey says, Mazel Tov, James Myers. Absolutely. Honestly, you know, we all love our children, and when they do things and shows and things. But as I remember, my father and Jim's dad and mom with musicians' sons, and it's wonderful. But to see your son playing at that level, Jim, and I know you have a daughter, she's a noblest. Is she a noblest?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Seattle, and you're proud of both your children. But to hear your son play like that must be just give you endless joy and pride. And you should, because he's wonderful. And they all met at Colburn School of Music, right? Like
Right.
they all, it's a little bit like the Beatles, on the street in Liverpool. They just met at Colburn.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? It's like kismet, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
we know loads of quartets that met Sidney Grillett with the Royal Academy that you never hear of again,
Yeah.
right? It's a magical group of
Yeah.
people.
It is a good group. They get along so well. And I don't know whether you know Estelle. Do you know Estelle at all?
No, but she was the cellist, Jan. Jan was like, wow, that woman puts her heart and soul into a playing,
Well,
man.
she's from Calgary, and she has her brother's the principal cellist of the Calgary, and the whole family's musical. I mean,
She's Derek has a comment again. Jan is much easier on the eyes. And then, of course, Leanne, I hate to say this. Look, Joey, I second that. Let me tell you something, Leanne. Fair weather friends, if you know what I'm talking about.
Sorry, Leanne.
So the Dover, they were great. Yeah, Mark, absolutely. Please don't get me wrong. The Dover are an amazing quartet.
they're very
Not
good.
quite as harmonious as the Calador because they've had a few problems with some of their players, but they seem to be settled now. But it's a great quartet. But I just, yes, Guy, the website is great. Can you just tell us what the website is again, so all our viewers can see that?
Yeah, the website is called thestringquartets.com. So what I will, I'm working on, actually, I'm going to have a section where I will list all the composers and how many string quartets they actually did. And I will highlight the favorite pieces. So that's coming up but that will take just work. But
Fantastic.
A lot of work.
Fantastic.
It's
Ray
amazing.
says, Scott, do you have that? Ray says, Scott. And Ray says, yes, it's always the answer. Mark says, any comments about the last batch of original source? Just in the last minute, I haven't purchased any, neither did I. They're not sending me them. I'm not buying them. Jim Memji, who hasn't been on for a little while, Jim knows what they're like. He gets them all. I'm sure they're good. The last couple have been very good. But the Catch Up à la Fin du Temps, Quartet for the End of Time, challenging piece, but also not the best performance of it. The French guys with Barenboim. I'm not sure why there's so many great Deutsche Grammophon recordings to release. I don't know why they did that. But everyone, beautiful Angie. Joey is making the rounds tonight. Okay, here we go. And Rick Brown says, nice to see you, Jen. Yeah, we know she's so sweet. She's so nice. She's smarter than me. I know she's better. We get it. Yeah. She is. She's all those things and more. Joey, finally, Leanne, you get a little bit of attention. Hi, Leanne, great to have you.
Whoa.
And then, whoa. Okay, guys.
I got the Polini, Anthony, so I will probably play it because I was extremely. The last Polini was fantastic.
It was. I reviewed it. It's really good. It's really good. Anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. First of all, for the people watching in the rerun, and we're getting like 700 or 800 people now watch the rerun, so it's a classical show. It's great. So thank you very much for watching the rerun. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much to the Peanut Gallery. You're the best, funny, hilarious, knowledgeable, great comments, pithy comments. The insults are great. Keep them coming. And they're clever. And it's lovely to have you, all of you. Thank you so much. And of course, to our guests, Sky, Ryan, Jim, And Tony, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming up. And we have some other people that come up as well. Please don't, we have lots of room. And of course, for the best panel in classical music and high-end audio, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Everyone have a great, we'll be back next week with good Wi-Fi. Good, no echoes. It's great. And maybe you can, Sky, come up and tell us about that Deutsche Grammophon, the original source, and then maybe some people can buy it if it's really good. The Polini. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Great. Ryan, I hope you have a happy holiday. And Jim, I hope you get some nice, you're still looking for your MBL speakers, are you?
Still, always. It's a pursuit.
Just buy the,
First, I have to get the relaxed cartridge. So.
Oh God, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Three people contacted me and said, Anthony, is it really that good? Should I buy it?
Yeah, I know.
And they called Anthony.
Do that to us. Stop.
What's that, buddy? Yeah, I know. Hey, yours is good too. No, it's fine. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the stream there. Just stick around for the after party. Okay, guys, have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.